All right then.
Alright then.
Ah, it's done then. Verzano plays with fire and someone else always pays the price for it. Your charity is more than he deserves. Still, at least I don't have to deal with him anymore. For that, I'm grateful. Whether you intended to or not, you've done the Valian Republics a service today, ridding us of him. I work closely with the embassy to protect our interests, but lately I think our gaze has been too narrow. You clearly have pursuits of your own in the city, but I think we could help each other out. If you're interested in doing some work for us. Officially, I mean. We can go together and I'll introduce you to the ambassador.
That sounds fine, let's go.
Good. Maybe I can finally do something more worthwhile than playing nanny to merchants. The embassy is up in First Fives, southwest of the Ducal Palace. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Following your lead.
Looks like there's a clear sky over Heritage Hill. I hope the district can recover. There's a lot of history there. Even more so now that you've saved it. Maybe they'll give you a plaque. Actually, this really might do a little something for your reputation. It can't hurt to be known for ending a curse. Tell me about Rautai.
Ah, Ralatai. Shall I describe the pearl-white sands, the sapphire waters, the multi-hued tiles of the rooftops, like a mosaic upon the coast? Sorry.
Was there something specific you wanted to know? Tell me about the kingdom of Rautai in general. It's a long journey by ship to the north, past Eximido and across the sea. We have settled much of the Gulf and established more recent trading colonies all along the coast. We live as best as we can, like anyone else. Our land is plagued by storms, and so we stand together, whatever corner of Rautai we hail from. Otherwise, we'd never survive. Tell me about the city you're from, Akoa.
Takoa is doubly famed, a royal city and home to the Coral Harbor. The Ranganui's palace is there, and we've a fleet of royal ships sitting outside the Gate of Great Teeth. Every so often, you'll hear the roar of a cannon being tested.
The finest ships in Rautai and so the world are anchored there, and some of our brightest minds toil away at the artillery. My mother, for instance. Anna grins brightly. Myself, I have no talent with gunpowder. Oa is also home to the Lore College, of course, and we get a great many people traveling long distances to speak with the Lore Keeper, or else hear the chants and peruse the books. At least, that is how it was when I was younger. Things were a little different when I left, also. You might say the winds are changing. The Pauri, they are traditionalists, in a way. The Ranga Nui's son stands among their number. Talk at the dinner table has changed from how far a fleet Rautai ship might sail to how well defended our borders are, how far we have turned from the old ways. Then talk turns to Barring, Adrian and Valiant merchant ships, and Anna sighs. Things were difficult when I left. There was so much arguing among the elders. I trust the king has kept the peace, but I worry sometimes that things have taken a turn for the worse. You aren't a traditionalist? Oh, I'm a regular firebrand. And if you ask the other chanters, I don't see why I can't appreciate our traditions and chart a better future, but so goes the debate. It sounds like you miss home. Some parts of it, those silver cliffs, the sea, those, at least, no one can change. The day I boarded the ship for Ager, the sunrise was gold upon the water. and I nearly leapt overboard and swam for home. Koa has a lot of this artillery. Rauatai has a lot of artillery. We've made great advances with explosives. One of our artillery masters advised on the Godhammer bomb during the Saints' War, actually. In Rauatai itself, our efforts are more modest. Bombards, cannons. We're having some luck with mortars. You might ask my sister, if you ever visit to Koa, she captains the Rautuwana. She knows far more than I do, and enjoys great fame for it. They may not be very traditional, but even the most strident demagogue won't touch the subject of artillery. They'd lose what support they've gathered. Do only Omoa live there? Far from it. The Omoa arrived more recently and formed the greater number, but others have joined us, so long as they call themselves subjects of the Ragnarnui. Some of my neighbors are Orleans, for instance, fine people, though they care little for the sea. People here say that the coastal Omoa are a cruel people. Cruel in the same manner that Orleans are feral and the pale elves graceful, yes? Kana chuckles. Omoa conquered Rauatai long ago and drove their enemies from those lands in the doing of it. Today the great kingdom of Rauatai hosts humans, Orleans, elves, even island Omoa. Anna flashes a quick smile. What a campaign of conquest says about those responsible, you'll have to ask the Adrians. In any case, yes, their reputation persists. Good if you want fighting work, less so if you would like to be a cook. What is this sacred book you're looking for?
The Tanvi Oratoa. It's not really a book. It's been passed down over the years in the form of a chant. I actually found it a little strange at first, seeing it set down in stone. It's not quite the same as a song of worship, though we have paeans to the gods as well. More a kind of moral guide. It gives us something to aspire to. The, model of a virtuous citizen of Rauatai.
So describe this virtuous citizen.
Dutiful, learned, honest. The sticking point is loyal. Loyal to the people of Rauatai above all others. Fearless in their defense and bold in aspiration. Tireless in battle or industry. An inspiration to one's people. But it seems it's not that far a leap from there to the idea that we must cast out foreign influences.
I look for it out here.
There have been arguments as to the chant's true interpretation. New translations even. But any rendition of it I find in the ruins of Engwith will predate those translations by 2,000 years. And finding it here also proves that we still have much to gain from trading with other cultures. I'd be lying if I said I'm not looking forward to seeing the look on everyone's faces when I get back. But in the long term, I just think that we can learn a lot from the Engwithians. A civilization like that is something to aspire to. A model for Rauatai as a whole, and not just its people. And I want to prove that all of this is worthwhile. Traveling, seeing the world for what it is. It's been so different from sitting in the Chanter Hall and studying books.
You came all this way just to win an argument?
More or less. It wasn't a popular theory when I suggested it. The idea that we shared the Tanvi Oratoha with some older culture, doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't help that my family is from the Deadfire Islands. If I had a copper pot for every chanter who suggested that it's just not in my nature to conquer. My siblings, my parents, they make up for it. They build walls and cannons and ships. I've tried to explain. It isn't that I think those things aren't necessary, but if Rauatai closes itself off from trade, turns on its own people over tradition, we will fall behind, and then we'll be the ones getting conquered. I think my father tries to understand at least.
Won't it have crumbled away by now?
Much of Ingwith's writing is lost to us, but an engraving would survive. I found several tablets at the site in Exometer. The scholar Gabranos, in particular, seems to have been fond of writing on the walls. I may have to ask you to help me carry it if it's a large stone.
Is that what you aspire to be?
Doesn't everyone want to be a good citizen?
You think the Enquethans were the true authors?
I don't know that the distinction is necessarily important. Rawatai has a long history, and our people have come from many different places. It matters less who wrote it than that I have found pieces of the verses all around the world. Wherever it came from, it will be Rawatai that decides what becomes of it. All the races and peoples of our kingdom coming together to create a great empire. You see, then, that I am loyal in my way.
Had other questions? You're being haunted by the laden key? It seems we have that in common. It's all rather absurd, isn't it? I don't see what they mean to gain from it. How did this all begin? I ran into them in Adir, or rather, they sought me out. In Adir, there were many people who had observed the Enguithan ruins in the Deerwood, and I spent some time conferring with experts. In the libraries, I found accounts of sites in Ixmiddle, and it was there I traveled next. But just before that, I found myself approached by a woman in dark robes who bade me abandon my studies for my own safety. I ignored her, of course, but I began to have the sense after that of being followed. And after that, well, one ambush on the road I could call misfortune, but three? Who are these people? I thought it only fair to delve into their activities in turn. I found word of a leaden key, but past that it was all ravings and superstitions. I might as well have gone around asking whether someone had ever seen a whale flying through the air. Some might well tell me yes, but the validity of their accounts is questionable. They don't seem worried about this. They haven't had much luck. The last one came up on me at a dig site and slipped on a muddy beam. I tried to catch him, reflex I think, but he went right over the side and down 100 feet. I'm not really sure what he had in mind, but I doubt that was it. I had other questions. Do you know anything about this place? I know the history, at least. This was where the War of Defiance came to an end. The district was once twice as large. They drained the wetland and walled off the sea further out along the coast. A gift from Ondra, you see, a stretch of land claimed from the sea. During those final battles, Adrian's soldiers came pouring into the district, and the Imperial fleet battered the city with cannon fire from the bay. But Galvan Medra, crafty woman that she was, had led them into a trap. The Kaudwa Dev was in the sky that day. With it came the Lover's Tide, and a great storm. The seas rose and crushed the ships against the Aldra levees. Many of the soldiers drowned. The Empire left a parting wound. They broke down the seawall as they retreated, and Andra took back her gift.
Right.
Oh, can I
Hey.
get special dialogue for every single location?
I don't suppose we could rest a spell.
Ambassador Agosti, I would speak with you on a matter of some urgency and great importance.
Pelagina smiles broadly when she addresses the ambassador. Sighing as though remembering some heavy burden, Vincent crosses his arms before replying. Pelagina, if this is the same matter we previously discussed, I doubt I will be convinced any more easily. Remain silent.
Ambassador, I implore you to take a step back and look at this again.
Ambassador Agosti holds up his hand and cuts Pelagina off in a strident tone. Enough. We're not going over Defiance Bay's animancers again. The Duke's Bell's desires have not changed since the last we spoke. If you haven't heard, word of your insubordination has already found the ears of the Duchessa of Viagape and the Duke of Salona. There are murmurs that you cannot be trusted to fulfill your duties. Must this talk reach the shores of Spireneto? Alagina's aggressive demeanor drains the state of shock and worry, but she remains silent. If it makes any difference, Ambassador, I'm already looking into the matters Palagina has spoken of. It doesn't, but it would be fortuitous if your investigation took you to Twin Elms, because that's where Palagina needs to go.
What is it the Dukes need of me, Ambassador?
The Deerwood's instability has created an opportunity for us to take over their trade with Glanfath. We will need to meet with the Glanfathans soon to secure upcoming trade agreements. The roads to Twin Elms can be dangerous, of course, but that's why you'll be our representative there.
Echosi, Ambassador. But won't this provoke the Deerwoodins? Their country is falling apart, and we are already dividing up their trade alliances.
Provoke them into what? Going to war? Through no fault of the Republic's, the Deerwood's armies have been deprived of an entire generation of soldiers. It would be foolish not to take advantage of the situation. If we don't, the Ritsarans will. Ambassador, that's some cold compassion considering what these people have been through.
More than that, Ambassador, there is a practical element to consider. We may profit in the short term from this arrangement, but what of the future? The Deerwood won't forget, and the Republics may pay the price for it.
The ambassador sighs. We're not the Duke's, Palagina. It's their decision and our job to carry out the orders. It's not like they're asking you to assassinate someone. Palagina raises an eyebrow and clenches her jaw, but remains silent. Palagina, Palagina. He shakes his head. Go to Twin Elms. Speak to the Menthoth. Impress upon her the instability of the Deerwood, and reassure her of the valiant Republic's desire to open safe trade.
Of course, Ambassador.
The ambassador nods and smiles paternally. He then looks to you. I know you planned on investigating this crisis together, but I hope you understand Palagina's responsibilities. I understand, but we're still going to investigate it. Responsibilities or not. Will the Dukes need to hear more about Palagina Mesray's wild adventures?
Of course not, Ambassador. I will attend to the unnamed thought as soon as I am able to travel to Twin Elms.
Good, now if you will excuse me.
Could have gone better. Could have gone worse. I appreciate that you stood up for me, but it's hard to persuade the Ambassador to go against the Duke's orders.
I know you're right, Palagina. We may find a way for you to fulfill your obligations while looking into what's really going on around here, don't worry.
Enough wisdom for both of us. Now, I just need to find out how to get to Twin Elms before the Ambassador loses his patience.
He pauses in thought. Still, I fear that making this deal with the Glenfathans will further weaken the Deerwood and make trouble for the Republics in the years to come. Follow your heart. Do what you believe will be best for the Republics.
I wish I knew. I'm ready.
Oh, what is this? Oh, the Paladin gains more damage against the marked target. One per encounter, huh? Oh, this is the user modifier. Nice.
Hey. Hey.
I guess I need to go to Whitestone Hollow.
I don't suppose we could rest a spell.
A wealthy noble by the name of something something. He was nearly set upon by brigands on the road, but your patrols intervened. So, does that mean I have a visitor? Interesting. The outsider man has ever communed with the gods before. Oops, I went to the wrong place.
If you said what I think you did.
That was Isilmir. She likes your feathers.
Thanks, but I'm not interested, Isilmir. Wait. I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with the Anamenfath. If a Valiant deal with the Glanfathins weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future.
What other option do you have?
I could put the idea in the Anamenfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodens.
Follow your heart, Palagina. You alone know what must be done. She nods her head resolutely. Our paths cross again, That was Animus. Elms? One of my companions, a representative of the Valiant Republics, wishes to discuss a trade issue with you. The Orlan turns her gaze toward Palagina. Yes, the Valiant godlike, blessed of Hylia. Palagina bristles and quickly spits out a response, so they say. The Namanthav's face shows no outward emotion, but her voice betrays annoyance at Palagina's interruption. And diplomat of the Duke's spells, I understand you were to be sent here with trade assurances from your masters. Revered Anamanthath, it is true that I was chosen to convey these assurances, but but understand that I was fashioned more for war than etiquette. Orlin smirks slightly. In these dangerous times, perhaps it is better to send warriors to do diplomats' works. Palangina musters a weak smile. Indeed, Anna Manfath. Regarding the exclusive trade agreement, her voice quavers slightly and her golden eyes dart in your direction. Nod head, smiling warmly. Palangina steels herself. The Republic's feel it would be in the best long-term interest of all parties if you maintained your traditional good traits with the Deerwood. The Anamanthav's long ears pitch forward, a strange turn. What do the Republics want then? Palagina speaks quickly but confidently. Ta Andra Ta pearls. Trade will be picking up quickly on them in the Eastern Reach. You will buy them exclusively from us for the next 5 years. In exchange, we will be your exclusive market for Adra, Ban, and Karo Golan for the same period. The Anamanthath considers Palagina's words for several long moments. An interesting proposition, Valiant. We will send emissaries south to discuss the details at greater length. Your appearance here speaks well of your Duke's intentions. Palagina bows deeply. Revered Anamanthath.
That's it. My position in the Brotherhood gone. I can't believe I just made up new trade terms to the Glanfath and Anamenfath. Postinago.
Palagina, you did the right thing for the Republics, even if the Dukes can't see it from their vantage. You can deal with their disapproval later.
Verus. They have a saying in Biajepe. New gold clears even the oldest debts. If I'm right, all will be forgiven. If not, there's nothing I can do about it now.
Perhaps a little rest is in
Last
order.
thing the Deerwood needs is another foreign colony.
Where's this unique visitor? What?
I have heard terrible things. I worried you would not return. Is it true that there are riots in Defiance Bay, and that Avar Wolfgren has been slain?
It's true. Yes, and I'll make Thios pay for what he's done. I'm sure you will, my lord. And how much does he deserve it? May the gods hurry his every step. I am glad above all that you are unharmed. I can only hope that Defiance Bay recovers. What is the state of the keep? Word of Caed Noir is spreading far and wide. I expect we'll be receiving visitors from every corner of the world soon. I can't tell you how wonderful it is seeing this place restored to its original grandeur. Thank you, my lord. This keep only reflects what you have done for us. The monument, if you will. I've kept you long, haven't I? I'll give you my report. Strange, my mouse was dying on me. Oh shoot, it's dying on me. I'm very sad. Oh, whoops. Sorry about that.
I must say, I'm impressed.
I'm not sure what is best. I like having resolve.
Gores.
Standard. My resolve is at 15 now. Anything that can give me a resolve? And nothing here gives me resolve. Didn't know he had this. This might be better on a Paladin. Oh, resolve. Give me. Resolve 17. Nice. Let's see if I can do the dragon thing now. I don't know if I could though.
Tell me. Sure thing. The last thing I want is for her to be controlled. The barbarian cannot be engaged by enemies that are more than one level lower than him or her. Like, isn't that really good? That means that lower level enemies can engage her. I can fail. Alright, let's do this.
You again? Ugh. I could still kill you for this annoyance.
What's the problem exactly?
Consider it indigestion. And consider yourself lucky I've eaten.
A belch rumbles up from the dragon's throat and reverberates in the ice under your feet. Did you eat Yagdir, the young man by the road?
Was that the rodent's name? I only know that he tasted mealy and lean.
The dragon probes the leg bone with its tongue. He came looking for his soul twin. What did that have to do with you?
Centuries I've lived. I won't share my soul with some mewling youth.
Wait, you're his soul twin? Why did you kill him?
While he lived, his suffering became mine. And as he drew closer, his weakness infected my essence. I can never be strong while a soul twin of mine lives.
I take it you've been through this before.
Since I was a worm, sudden fits of agony and terror would paralyze me. I was a prisoner to experiences that weren't mine.
The dragon's tail slowly coils and uncoils.
Eventually, I noticed something similar in my fellow hatchlings. I felt their cries and shrieks become mine as they nipped and flew at one another.
Go on.
I killed as many of the other hatchlings as I could. I felt their pain, but I also felt parts of their souls become mine.
Its slitted pupils widen at the memory.
I slaughtered and devoured, and the scent of blood drove my siblings into a frenzy. Our nest became a maelstrom of chaos as we fought, dying and feeding together. At last, only a handful of us were left. We were sickened by all we'd consumed and suffered.
The spines along its head flattened. What happened to the hatchlings that survived?
I eventually hunted down some of my missing siblings. Others returned to me in other skins and other lives, as that boy did.
But you have grown stronger by uniting with your soul twins.
Remaining fettered to them, hoping they never think to turn on me.
Something churns noisily in the dragon's stomach.
As interesting as this conversation has been, I've had enough of it.
The dragon picks at its teeth with a claw and finally pops the leg bone free. It chews on the morsel, its eyes fixed on you. Calm down, friends are more useful than enemies. It looks at you, still crunching and splintering the bone between its teeth. Finally, it swallows the jagged mess.
Perhaps you're right. Yet what will you offer me if I let you go?
It lowered its head to peer at you. As a watcher, I could sever your connection with your soul twins.
Lies! You would make me vulnerable. How foolish I was to nearly fall for your tricks!
Listen, the dragon hisses and recoils. Listen to my voice and know that I tell the truth. I will help you. The spines along its back relax, and it lowers its outstretched wings.
Very well. But I warn you,
The dragon narrows its eyes to watch you approach. As you draw close, you feel the shape of the dragon's soul. Something about it seems broken, and you feel a place that leaks essence like blood. Gathering the energy of your own essence, you extend yourself to the wound in the dragon's soul and cauterize it. The beast roars, and distantly you worry that it will bring the cave down on your head if it doesn't bite you in two first. But you hold on, and as the wound in the dragon's essence fuses shut, you hear its shriek recede. At last, you pull back and feel the physical world take shape around you once more.
I feel it. Some part of me aches, yet another part is healed. I no longer feel the tug of so many others.
It cocks its head and gazes at the icy walls in contemplation.
You have done as you said. Now, take this and consider the debt paid.
It pulls something from the heap of bones and debris. You have gained an item. Riona's vampiresses added to the inventory.
I won't harm you or those who travel with you, but I make no promises for any others who wander into my cave. Now, please, leave me to rest.
Quest completed. This better half. What's this item that I got? 5% of misses converted to grazes. 3DR bypass. Oh. This sounds like a good risk card for Adir or Manea, but I prefer Adir to get it. There you go. I have favoritism towards Adir. Ring finger added. The quest expires in 1 day.
Hey.
Alright, this is it. This is part 2 of the White March.
I'll see what's ahead.
Okay, I'm using the correct party formation. Whitestone Hollow. Think them slowly symbols mean anything? What the heck is that?
Hey. Hey.
Die.
All right then. I'll see what I can find. You should see this.
I fix a trapdoor. Please. Oh no.
Just like an adherent to go down fast.
Hey,
Oops. Attack of the polar bears. How will I ever survive this?
hey.
Oh, that polar bear one splat.
You should see this.
Oh, thank goodness.
Hey. Steady does it.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is...
Still don't see why
not
we had to hurt the
very
dogs.
Shut it about the blazing dogs.
Oh shoot, they're all coming. Run. No, fight. Where's... What's her name again? Manea.
Hey.
Oh, that's a lot of people. Not sure if I can actually win. Versus reflex. Let's see how good these guys' reflexes are.
Hey.
Following
Something just flew. Gotta lay down the buffs and debuffs. Whoa, where did this guy come from? Alright, attack this guy. Back up. Expose vulnerabilities. Find them. And beat them up. Summon giant dragon. Dude, I lost track of a good spell. Where is that spell again? Potions to the Faithful, yeah. That's what I'm looking for. I can't see behind this giant break. Oh no, knock this guy down.
Hey.
I can't believe I won that.
Hey.
Potions.
Hey.
I need to do some inventory management. What is this? Right, I forgot.
All right then.
Alright then.
Nice.
Let's see if there are any other
Hey.
traps here. A fine spear.
Yes.
Sees us.
Yes. Indeed.
far out of range. Need a fireball instead. That didn't do much damage. Can these things be blinded? Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Mr. Bag.
Margaret's fire casts
Don't think we'll
light in dark places.
There's gotta be something left under all this snow.
Yes, you have found fireball.
How may I help?
Oh shoot, run. Oh, why are there so many people? Get rid of that guy.
What?
I should probably cast blindness first. Yes, be my friends.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey, you're not getting through me. Hey,
Yes, shoot the body to make sure it's actually dead.
Hey,
Use arouse. Fill quick items with spirits. What the heck? Are these things permanent? Sounds like something my main character should use. These cliffs seem similar to those seen in the battery, but they are too worn to make out.
steady does it.
Could be trapped. It's not.
Hey,
Happened here. Torched barn.
you might find this interesting. Hey,
There's too many equipment. I don't know what to choose. Maybe we ought to go in and see. Go on then. It's bad days coming, I'm telling you. The pair looks up at you as you approach. Who's the... Oh, begging your pardon, Lord. The villagers shuffle to face you. Need help? Don't think anybody could help Hadi now. It might not be too late. Look, we saw some suspicious people leaving Hadi's house. They'd already torched the barn. I'll go have a look. Suspicious people? Not just looters, I mean. They were armored up like they were in for a battle, and mean looking. Ern's got something to do with it, I just know it. Ern? He's a dwarf, lives in Stalwart now. He and Hadi were always at each other's throats over land rights for years now. Might not be him. You shouldn't go accusing people. I'll go have a look. Good man, hope we're wrong about all this.
hey,
Check up on Hadi. Where's this Hadi fella? Ish.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
I must gather my party before venturing forth. The dead man's sprawled position gives you a clear view of the sword wound in his back. The smeared, drying blood around him has not yet faded to brown. Read his soul. You hear a groan, low and pained, then turn your head to see. There's a dull pain in your skull, and your vision swims. A harsh grip on your arm bears you upright on your knees. We don't have anything worth stealing. Alwena's voice cuts through your sluggish thoughts. You look up at the armored man seated at the table, your stomach knotting up with dread. No, you don't. He reaches almost idly for the ledger. You notice before he does the way that Alwena tenses up, but you're not sure why until he opens the book and the letter falls out. Family, the man smiles as he picks up the letter. No, Alwena tries to run forward, only to get caught by the arm by the man behind her. Looks like Eska's doing well at the mill. Sweet of him to write. Deerford's a long way from here. Enough, Sebastian. All right. He tosses the letter on the table, cruel amusement swiftly replaced with irritation. Kill him. You barely have time to register the words. The sword through your back drives the air from your lungs and the strength from your limbs all at once. Alwena's scream seems so faint. You have to get to her. You have to warn Eska somehow, but your legs won't listen. You can't breathe. The memory slips from you like a shook boat, and the pain in your back fades just as quickly. Find Eska. Yes, what do you want? Hadi's dead. Knew it had to be bad. Thanks for letting us know, stranger.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not.
Security reports that Drakes will attack the stronghold in 5 days. I am very sad. I don't think I'm strong enough to fight Drakes. Or you. Oh, just a hacker NPC. Where's the mill? Oh, Deerford Mill. Put the blade down, boy. You scarcely know how to hold it. Hey, help me, please, they're insane. One of the paladins takes a step to the side, swiveling to face you and Eska both. He sizes you up with a lazy sweep of the eyes. Well, who's this? Ah, the foreigner. You'll have to wait your turn. We have a contract to wrap up. I saw some of your handiwork back in Whitestone Hollow. You hear Eska gasp. Sebastian glances at him. a quiet smile forming on his face. Nasty piece of business that, but it's what the client wants. Leska here can tell you, kith up in stalwart love, their petty feuds, forever at each other's throat. Add a little Durgan steel into the mix and you have a great many jealous neighbors. But if a nice family like this one ends up on pikes, maybe they'll sit down to discuss things the next time around. You're insane. A show of force impresses like nothing else. You have a passable talent for it yourself, I hear. These sadistic games are beneath your order. What would you know about it? You're not one of us. You ever been in any kind of siege? I know a thing or two about getting into castles. You notice the two paladins behind Sebastian exchanging looks. Sebastian follows your gaze. For an instant, his posture seems tense. Any fool can inflict violence without purpose. Don't you start. What purpose was there in letting two families snap at each other for decades? I put an end to it. Do your friends agree, Sebastian? Silence follows. The paladins only look at you disdainfully. Sebastian laughs and gives a mocking shrug. Focus on the intruder, we'll kill the sun later. Oh, oops, I screwed up. You're nothing but a spiteful cur. You want spiteful? I'll have your head on a post outside that keep of yours. He turns his head, kill him. Focus on the intruder, we'll kill the sun after. What is going on? Are we fighting?
I'm here. Uh-huh.
This thing is...
Are you?
Turn!
Stop cheating.
Hey,
Leska stares at the fallen paladins. The dagger trembles in his hand. They told me that they killed my parents. Is that true? I'm sorry, Eska. I never believed Kern could stoop to this. That rotten bastard. Leska turns his head away, fists clenched. You hear a stifled sob. These dear wooden feuds are a real hassle. I'd better go home, bury my mother and father. Here it's not much, but it's all I've got apart from my life. Thank you again.
all right then. Hey. That's unusual.
What the heck is this doing in a brain pile? Oh, whoops. I need to go back. My stronghold.
Wait.
Maybe I should knock them all prone first. How's Turrips doing here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Aspect worse than rock. Leave it to me.
Last thing the Deerwood needs is another foreign colony.
Of course.
Hireling payday. Why isn't it doing anything? Oh, it's doing something. Oh, what the heck is that?
How may I help?
Follow me.
Ah, like birth and rot! Hey.
Oh, she died. Somehow.
Ah, like birth and rot! Ah, like birth and rot!
Why aren't you healing? Oh, you already did. I want to see what this does. Cool.
That's not Ulu Sen.
That was a very intense encounter.
Hey,
Let's give a dear arms bearer. What's a jump target? Oh, duh. Spell with jump.
Following your lead.
Oh, he doesn't have a modal.
Hey. Hey.
Keeping an eye out.
Oh, shoot.
Wait.
Like worth and rot. Hey.
Following your lead.
Hey.
Nice and slow.
Over here. What's up here? Bridge.
I shall be discreet.
Enemies. I think. Definitely enemy.
Aztec worth and wrath.
Excuse me.
Leave it to me.
Following your lead. Yes? Following your lead. Stand!
Hey. You're not getting through me.
It's over here.
I'll see what I can find.
That's a lot of bones. Nice cave, huh? I didn't know mushrooms can grow in here. It's a fine dagger. I'll seek out information about the White Army.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
I must gather my party before venturing forth. I heard there's something strange going on in the mines.
While we wait, the enemy grows stronger. And you'd send more of us to die. Well, I'm not gonna stand around. Are you?
You've done plenty, Darian.
You approach the source of the commotion and see a throng of villagers. They're arguing amongst themselves and hurling questions and demands at a lone figure perched above them. The young man stands on the spur of the rock, his clenched fist held aloft. Steam rises from his wild hair and flushed face as he shouts to the gathering.
Been a week since our people left these gates. A week since the iron flail took them.
He paces the outcropping, his eyes burning. You see a few scattered nods in the crowd.
Yet we wait here behind our sturdy new walls, hiding in our rebuilt homes. We've done nothing.
He brings his fist into his palm with a sharp smack. The crowd erupts, bristling with pointed fingers and pointed words. One woman steps forward, her eyes lock on the young man.
Who are you to tell us how to defend our own? You ain't been here 2 months!
Several of the others groan, and you feel a shift in the crowd like a changing tide.
Hey, an angry mob. See? We're not so far from home.
And since I got here, I've been working alongside the rest of you. Don't start with that again.
A handful of others nod along with him, but they cringe and flinch as another villager joins the fray, sticking his finger at the young orator.
Well, it was your idea to send our people to that damned fort in the first place. If it weren't for you and the other leeches that come up with you, we wouldn't be in this mess.
The new accuser raises a chorus of furious cries. Durian raises his hands for calm, but the crowd's wrath is snowballing continuously.
Enough. Enough!
Durian waves waves for calm, but the crowd has worked itself into a frenzy. He scans the assembly, beads of sweat rolling from his temples. His eyes fall on you, and he points.
You want to boot all the Outlanders from your town? Tell that to the hero of the White Forge.
Hey, it wasn't just me. This Watcher deserves at least a little credit.
No one seems to notice Adir. I like this guy. A dozen heads turn in your direction. The villagers recognize you, and their eyes widen with hope and reverence. Enough shouting. I want someone to calmly explain what's going on. Nods.
It's a small army from Raid Saris. They call themselves the Iron Flail.
At Durian's mention of the name, the rest of the crowd falls silent. The word triggers a sudden flashback to your dream of the mysterious army and the destruction of Caed Noir. As the image fades, you see once more the vision of 100 eyes, watching you and something just beyond.
Showed up a few weeks after you opened the battery. Demanded we give him the White Forge.
He avoids your gaze, scraping his boot against the rock.
They're led by a Darek Sendamir. Comes from an old Raid Saren family. The rumor has it the man's half mad with visions. Claims one drove him here to take the White Forge.
They're not the only bloodsuckers around here.
The villager glares up at Durian, but most of his fellows are ignoring him by now. Durian raises his voice above the ruckus.
Our crew at the battery locked their doors and told the Iron Flail to go back to Raid Saris. Instead, they built a fort in the middle of the wood. So we sent a committee to reason with them. But that was a week ago. We haven't seen our people since.
A low rumble ripples through the crowd. Durian hesitates.
That can only mean one thing.
He grimaces as the frightened, arguing crowd drowns him out once more. Can't you share the White Forge with the Raid Sarens? The villagers shout and squawk louder than ever.
After what they did to our neighbors?
Only thing they know how to do is start wars.
Please, everyone.
In the fragile silence that follows, the others turn and look at Durian.
Whatever our difference is, we've got to deal with the army at our gates.
He looks back at you.
You've done a lot for Stalwart already. Many of us wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you.
He breaks off, looking as if he'd like to stuff his words back into his mouth. After an uneasy pause, he swallows and continues.
What I mean is, if anyone could deal with an army, it's you.
Very well, I help you.
The Iron Flail cleared a patch of forest north of Durgan's battery, built their fort there. It'll be well guarded, so if you can get in without raising an alarm, you may have an easier time of it. The important thing is to deal with the commander. If you can get rid of him, the rest of the soldiers will scatter.
I think I've dreamed about this army.
What exactly did you see?
He watches you with wide, wondering eyes. A murmur ripples through the crowd. Stalwart was destroyed. The villager gasps and exchange panicked whispers.
Let's just hope there's still time to prevent it.
His voice is firm, but his face is ashen.
Anyway, we've got our work cut out for us here.
He gives the crowd a purposeful look. Grumbling, they start to disperse.
While you're out, stop by the battery. Wangra and her team are still repairing the heavy cannons, but they've made a lot of progress elsewhere. Thought you might like to see how far it's come.
I wanted to ask you about something.
Haven't been here long, but I'll tell you what I can.
Tell me about the Iron Flail.
They heard about the White Forge and came running. Just like a lot of us did. Only difference is, they brought siege weapons.
Siege weapons.
As best anyone can tell, they're from the border region near Little Bend, one of the poorest parts of the country. For Raid Saris, well, that's saying something.
What brought you to Stalwart?
Work. I was a cobbler in New Yarma, but the city got more crowded every year. Rural types fleeing the legacy. A couple months ago, I heard Stalwart was offering land and opportunity to new settlers, so figured I'd give it a go out here. For a while, folks seemed glad to have some new blood, but that changed as more and more of us came.
There seems to be a lot of tension around town.
Before you opened Durgan's battery, people tell me Stalwart barely had enough warm bodies to keep the town running. A bunch of us came when we heard about the White Forge, but now, I think the old-timers would just as soon send us back.
He begins ticking items off on his fingers.
We take the best jobs, we don't pay our respects to Andra, we're overcrowding the town.
He shakes his head.
I get it. Stalwart's changing. Same thing happened in New Yarma when folk moved in from the countryside. But they can't keep blaming us for everything that goes wrong out here.
He sighs and a steaming cloud escapes his lips.
I'm just hoping they'll calm down once the iron flail is gone.
That's all. Let's see what the mayor has to say about this. If it isn't the hero of the White Forge, Renan Guild. Nods in greeting. She looks more relaxed than you've ever seen her. You come back to check on your handiwork, or are you just here to wish me a happy retirement? Why did you retire? He stretches. I've had enough of politics and town quarrels for this lifetime. So when Tarfus told me he was tired of the mines, I asked if he was ready to really get his hands dirty. He smiles, almost feels sorry for the guy. Farewell. Oh, where's the sun?
Please, someone has to do something. Piss off, Kern. I got enough problems.
Decades I've lived here. We've worked and drunk together, and not a one of them will lift a finger. This dwarf's face is damp and blotchy. His outburst seems to take something out of him. He sags, his line features showing his exhaustion. I'm sorry, I've no heart for conversation. I'm sure someone in here will drink to your health. Maybe I can help. Kern looks up at you, surprised. He looks around the inn, then steps closer, tone quiet and urgent. I've done something terrible, and I'm not sure I can fix things. This neighbor of mine, Hadi, we've never gone on at the best of times. With this land dispute losing half my property, things have gotten out of hand. I came across Hadi's house. You've seen him? Is Hadi safe? I tell you true. I never knew Sebastian was a bleak walker. I tried to stop him. I dealt with the bleak walkers. Hadi and Elwena were killed, but Eska is alive. Gods, Hadi, but Eska lives. You've saved him? Then for that I owe you everything. I can't ever make any of it right, but I'll try. Here, take this, and thank you for sparing me the final stain upon my soul. I guess that's that. I thought I ordered ale. You might have brought me the dishwater by accident, she sighs. Or maybe on purpose, you can never tell. What brings you to Stalwart? I represent a group of investors from Defiance Bay who are attempting to establish a trade agreement with Stalwart. Before they're willing to commit to any agreement, they want to have the town assessed, make sure it's as prosperous as people are claiming. That's where I come in. She takes a long sip from her mug. What's your assessment of the town? There's certainly a lot of coin changing hands, but whether this is simply a short-lived boom or something that will persist long-term remains to be seen.
Yes, my friend?
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door. The cost of troubling me. Huh.
Tell me.
Sure. Hey.
So you really found a white forge, huh? He shakes his head in wonder. Hardly believed it at first, but I've never seen Renegade so giddy about anything. He cracks a crooked grin.
Here, drinks on me. We should see a boost in business with the battery open. Makes for a brighter future than we had yesterday, for sure.
I'd like a room.
Top quality bear pelts on every...
All right, then.
No bounties, no problem. Where the house has been built.
Would I interest you in a new blade?
Where am I? I don't recognize this place.
You want me to go fixing my leg?
You still got it, don't ya?
I think we found Horavius' mom.
Ha! Took you for one of them red Sarens. Then I saw you had all your teeth. Ha ha ha! Hang on, gotta talk into my good ear. Now what was... Say, ain't I seen you somewhere? No, I got it. You're the one who got us into this place. And you fired up the White Forge. Must have been a real sight up close. All that fire. Oh. Oh, you know, clearing tunnels, blowing old barricades, just tidying up. But soon, I've got to start testing the cannons.
Oops, I was muted.
We held them off a few weeks ago, but they didn't run far. Set up a fort in the woods, and I hear they're working on some really fantastic siege weapons.
Her eyes glow. There must be something you can do.
There sure is.
She's practically dancing, her hands fold into knob-leaf little fists.
Once we have the heavy cannons, that is.
What's the problem with the heavy cannons?
They're all the way up there.
He points up at a tower that punches through the snow-bleared clouds.
I sent a crew to the tower, but they came back complaining about Skuldrak and the other nasties. Nearly took Kolmar's leg off. Skuldrak did, I mean.
I could look into it.
That'd be a big help. I'd hate to let those beauties go to rust up there.
He twitches and fidgets like a drunk, envisioning a tipple.
And anything you find up there is yours. Battery's full of treasures, and the West Tower has hardly been explored. Head through the door and up the stairs. That'll get you to that rampart.
He points up at the snow-dusted walkway.
Yeah, Kulmar cleared the rubble before he took to getting himself conveniently injured. You should be able to work your way up to the cannons from there. Meantime, I'll check on our black powder stock.
He gives you a smile full of jagged teeth. What is this?
Laying low.
Oh shoot, monsters.
flame reveal.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
What the heck is that?
Of course. Hey.
Keeping quiet.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment. Hey.
The lever for the artillery lift has broken again. I've been telling my men to be as careful as possible while using the lift, but it's difficult to keep your balance on the thing. One bad bump nearly sent a handful of them off the edge, and I'd rather they break a lever to keep their balance than fall off. Unfortunately, it was a clean break this time. We'll need this lever as soon as possible. If your men stopped taking up so much ammunition at a time, this wouldn't be a problem. This will be the last lever you ever get next time you're just getting a rammer.
What do you suppose that bally thing is?
Hey. I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment. Hey.
I don't like this.
Brave thou shalt not fear.
That's not very helpful.
Lead the way.
It's that 1,120 damage. We see.
All right then.
How may I help?
Vent pick. It's a stiletto. Not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Of course.
Brave thou shalt not.
Steady does it.
The work of a moment.
Hey. Course. Course.
You peer through the hole and see a wide, sturdy parapet running along the wall.
Several feet along the wall, you will also see a broad crack that appears to lead to another room. Look down. Wind whistles by your ears. The peaks of the White March rise below you and continue into the distance. Leave. Scary. Oh, what the heck is that?
Lungs are burning.
What's happening?
Hey.
Let's see what lies this way.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel right.
Disgusting.
Let's go.
Hey. All right then.
Let's go.
All right then. Hey.
Alright, let's cross the thingy. Hey dear, Siddles across the ledge. Hey dear reaches the crack in the wall. The noxious, eye-watering vapor seeps from within, flash through the wall. Adair pounds the wall on the wall. It's taxing work, and by the time the wall starts to give, Adair's shoulders flare with pain. The ancient masonry crumbles away, and a stinging vapor rushes through the breach. Adair holds a breath and clings to the wall as the rest of the gas escapes. Enter the room through the widened crack. Party continues into the newly cleared room. Oh, what the heck? That's not good.
Hey.
Nice and slow.
Maybe Duran should test it out first.
Why? The chain is so rusted, it barely moves.
Apply the Pergrun rust dissolver. You pour the contents of the vial onto the chain. The solvent hisses as it dribbles down, melting the rust into a slick brown puddle. The heavy chain squeaks with movement.
Fine. Hey. Of course. Hey. You're not Francis! You're not getting through.
Follow.
The gearbox looks strangely empty, like it's missing a cog. Upon closer inspection, you see a thin layer of yellow slime coating the gearbox. This slot looks like it's missing a lever. Fit the replacement lever into the slot. With a little maneuvering, it clicks into place. Your new lever protrudes from the slot.
Hey. Hey.
The gearbox looks strangely empty, like it's missing a cog.
Yeah.
Insert the new cog. And to pull the lever. Pull the lever. The lift at last shudders into motion, lifting you towards the clouds.
The lift makes slow, jaunty progress. It lurches every few feet, the rusted chains groaning like the dead. It comes to a trembling stop, and the entire platform swings precariously. A sharp metallic odor emanates from one of the winches. You hear screeching. At first you think it's coming from the winch, but then you realize it's coming from above. An enormous gold dark loops from the shadows. You feel the air from its passage as it whooshes past you, but before you can catch more than a glimpse, it's circling back, searching for you with ear-splitting shrieks. Rustling wings and a heavy musk alert you to the presence of more of the beasts. As they close, the platform continues to sway and bounce. Send someone to fix the winch. Send Ella. Ella scrambles noisily toward the winch, but falls echoing in the dark shaft. The Skulldrug pulls away from the pack and flits toward Ella, drawn by the ruckus. With a hiss, the Skulldrug spits a gob of acid into Alaf's face before flying away to rejoin the pack. Alaf screams in pain. Oh no, Alaf, I'm sorry. Alaf reaches the winch and sets to work on the jammed, rusted cogs within. The problem isn't as simple as Alaf had hoped. You see the solution in the snared metal, but Alaf will need another minute to fix it. And the Skulldrug overhead are growing bolder. Continue fixing the winch. The largest Skulldrug dives for the middle of the lift. Its screeches turn to hisses as it spews sizzling acid across the platform. It scolds you. Your own scream rings in your ears, and you smell burning flesh. The smaller Skulldrug slip past in tighter and tighter circles as they close. Meanwhile, the largest of the bunch is reeling back, preparing for another attack. Within moments, Alaf has cleared the jam. Alaf rushes back to the lever. Just then, the large Skulldrug swoops overhead and spews acid. It misses Alaf, but catches you and the rest of the platform in the spray. Alaf yanks on the lever. The chains rattle and clink, and the platform starts to move. The Skulldrug scatter. As the lift resumes its climb, the startled Skulldrug retreat back into the shadows. The platform rises from the tower, and you feel a cold wind on your face. My burned off face. Oh yikes. I think I need to save scum here. Late. I'll be right back.
Now I'm back.
Hey.
Severe burn and severe wound. This isn't good. Oh, what the heck?
I'm here.
This thing isn't doing. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. You're not here.
Summon shroom. Wait.
Hey. Hey.
That is a lot of snow. You turn the wheel and a gust of steam blasts you in the face. You stagger back and fall, spiraling towards smoke and flame. You find solid ground beneath your feet even as the air around you is a haze of smoke and heat shimmer. Coughing, you bat acrid fumes away from your face. As you acclimate to the soot-choked air, you see flames leaping in the distance. Each flare bathes you with warmth, and even as you struggle to pick out the details of this place, something about it seems familiar. Examine your surroundings. You can see little through the thick smoke, but the dancing flames illuminate a dragon's head cast in stone. It's the White Forge. As you start toward it, something massive comes crashing down in front of you. You leap back at the sound of metal slamming into metal and feel a deep tone ring through the air. Recovering your bearings, you find yourself looking at an enormous hand. You continue onward to see what lies at the other end of the pole, and what's responsible for the clangorous music just as the hand rises again. It swings back down in a perfect arc. A tower of metal smashes down ahead of you, raining sparks and glints of essence as another deep ringing note sounds. You realize that you're looking at an enormous hammer. The head glows with heat and essence,
Though the purple luster fades as soul energy is sucked from the hammer and into the work under it. Inspect the hammer. It's a block of black steel, as dark as a starless night and shiny enough that you can see your reflection in it. It's a work of art in itself, a study of simple yet perfect design. Get closer to the work. As the hammer rises once more, you dart forward to see what lies beneath it. A lone figure sprawls on an expanse of steel as smooth and broad as lake ice. The figure itself is enormous, a megapholic of twisted flesh and forged metal. Its arms end in two spiked clubs, and its head is a blunt, eyeless wedge. It opens its mouth and keens. The desperation in that noise reminds you of a newborn's fear and confusion. Air rushes at your back. You look up and see the hammer, its head once more glowing with essence, speeding toward you. You awaken to the sensation of warm tiles beneath your face. You're prone before the boiler, which drones on, pushing heat through the tower floor. But in the vapor that pulses from the boiler and pipes, you smell the fumes of the white forge.
I'm starting to like it up here.
That was incredible! Whole forge spit flames when you did whatever you did. And the smoke! Ha! I saw it from here. And now to see about these cannons.
She rubs her hands together. She starts for the door, but then she remembers something.
This is for you. Found it while we were cleaning out the battery.
Now, how do these cannons work?
If only I could show you. But everyone else is all worried about accidents and injuries. So they've said I can't fire them until there's a real need.
Tell me about the iron flail.
They came out here a few weeks back and asked us to vacate the forge, real nice-like. When we told them to turn around or we'd do them like we did their fellow Widewin, things got rough. They went to their fort, but they'll be back for sure. Darien sent a group from Stalwart to parley, but they never made it back.
He gives you a knowing look.
So it's a good thing you got these guns working. We'll be ready for those raid Sarens when they come for us.
What are you doing out here?
I'm taking care of these lovelies so they can take care of us.
He gazes affectionately at the cannons.
Well, back in Stalwart, I learned everything Tana knew about black powder, and a few things she didn't. Them she wasn't so happy about.
He frowns, looking momentarily distracted.
After what might have been a small mishap in the Stalwart mines, they sent me here to put my talents to better use.
Farewell.
I'm headed up the tower. Gonna make those cannons shine.
He skips toward the door. That is all for the stream. Thank you all for watching.